A very good morning to you and welcome to the AM News live here on Gntv from our studios inside number 10 and you straight here in Slamdown Accra in Ghana, West Africa. I am Bryce Nana Kwesi Amaning. I'm going straight into our first story for the morning, where a former Minister for Health and Sports, for Youth and Sports, Honorable Clement Humado, has said the setting up of an interim committee for the Ghana Football Association, GFA, by government breaches some sections of the FIFA rules. He was commenting on the decision of the government to set up an interim committee to manage the GFA pending investigations into the recent rot that was unraveled by Anas Expose.
If the conduct of the president of GFA has been found to be, he has infringed on FIFA rules, he would be immediately suspended, pending an investigation by FIFA into his misconduct. And then FIFA would then take over and call for an emergency congress, and the people, the members themselves, will use their constitution to correct the system. That way you are building the institution, and that way you are encouraging democratic principles within the GFA. I must admit that for some time now, the GFA has not been totally democratic. There have been, muzzling here and there, and that has created a lot of tension and discomfort among members. So this is the right time to correct it. But I think government should have used FIFA to compel them to do this. That way, we wouldn't have any side effects. But right now, as government has taken over GFA, the next question you ask is, what next?
Now, President of the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association has kicked against the Nation Builders Course (NABCO) program by government intended to reduce the burden of unemployment in Ghana. Speaking to Gntv, Dr. Kweku Asante Krobia has questioned the motive behind government decision to employ nurses and midwives who play critical roles in the country's health sector. He wants the whole Ghana model reviewed.
In the wake of many agitations on the labor front, due to the increasing number of unemployment issues confronting the teeming youth of the country, the Nanado-led government initiated the Nation Builders Corps to absorb the myriad of unemployed youth in the country on part-time basis. Unfortunately, the move did not go down well with many youth, especially trained nurses and midwives who believed their field of specialty is a critical one. Also, most of them are going to undertake a similar task as compared to their counterparts who are properly employed by government with other benefits including job security.
It is interesting that you enroll nurses or recruit nurses and you're saying that you're giving them part-time jobs. In fact, under the arrangement of NABCO, that is bad and unacceptable.
The president of the Nurses and Midwives Association of Ghana, Dr. Kweku Asante Krobia, wants government to take a stakeholder consultative meeting to enable it weigh options and arrive at a decision that will not, in a long run, put the lives of Ghanaians in danger.
Those aspects of NABCO arrangement that we want government to review. Otherwise, everything about NABCO, as far as we are concerned, is good. But you see, why we're going this way is that we see the nurse, the midwives having gone through a certain special preparation, and that the work that you will be recruited to go and do is worth a price. So we say, pay them that price. And come to think of it, you're going to give this person 700 Ghana cedis, that will be taxed. But you're not going to pay the person's social security contributions. Is it fair to this nurse? Right. So when we're talking about the nurse patient ratio today as 1:18, you are saying that It is just irritating enough to hear them say, they don't have jobs to do, and we will want to give them job to do, and they say they don't need the 700. Come to think of it, this argument seriously begs the question.
According to government, the scheme will this year employ 100,000 graduates under 7 modules, namely Educate Ghana, Heal Ghana, Feed Ghana, Revenue Ghana, Digitize Ghana, Civic Ghana, and Enterprise Ghana.
The adolescent unit of the Mamobi General Hospital is desirous of partnering with the Ghana Education Service to adapt a strategy and provide guidance on priority setting to help improve the health and well-being of adolescents. The Health Promotion Officer for the Ayawaso Sub-Metro, Naomi Edu, elaborated on this to Gntv as the hospital climaxed the adolescent health seminar with a cooking competition.
The Mamobi General Hospital in the suburb of Accra has been holding a 2-day adolescent health seminar. The seminar saw students participating in a cooking competition as part of the campaign seeking to promote healthy living. About 20 students participated in groups in the competition. The teams were tasked with preparing healthy, tasty and filling meals taking into account standards of hygiene and presentation. According to Health Promotion Officer for the Ayawaso Sub-Metro, Naomi Ado, a partnership between the Ghana Health Service and the Ghana Education Service will help enhance the promotion of health among the youth.
It's very important to partner with the GES because all our kids are the GES. And then we cannot do anything without GES because we are actually working with the adolescents. And then we are bringing these adolescents together to empower them, to tell them that, yes, they are an adolescent, but then they can do more on their own. They can take control over their lives. They can take control over what they decide to do for themselves. And then partnering with DES is also collaborating in the way that DES will understand the health sectors or the health issues about adolescents. And then we're also using adolescents as our tool to produce or to foster our education in adolescent health in our Ayawaso sub-districts.
Some of the participating students shared what impact the seminar has had on them and how they look forward to impacting their fellow colleagues.
It's about how teenagers sometimes engage in sexual activities which end them up dropping out from school and things. What I have to tell my fellow colleagues, especially the ladies, is that they shouldn't listen to what some of the guys in the listen now. We are some way they can deceive you, and later on they will get you pregnant and you drop out from school and they will start their school. They can continue with their schools and things. So my fellow sisters, stay away from sex.
They should stay away from sex. They shouldn't get pregnant while their results will be before their results will come. So they should stay away from sex. They should avoid sex. Sex is something that when you get married, you'll be doing it. So my fellow students, my fellow sisters and brothers, I want to tell you that stay away from sex and involve yourself in everything that you do.
One of the specific targets of the Health Sustainable Development Goal, SDG 3, is that by 2030, the world should ensure universal access to sexual and reproductive health care services, including for family planning, information and education, and the integration of reproductive health into national strategies and programs.
You're still watching us live here on Gntv, and this is the AM News. Now, moving away from that on to other stories, where the Ochene Osajefo Amotia of Furipenin II yesterday afternoon escaped death when his car crashed at Ankase, a village near Osino on the main Accra-Kumasi highway in the eastern region. All occupants of the car managed to escape unhurt. The Ochene's vehicle veered off the road into the bush to avoid colliding with an oncoming tipper truck. The Ochene was returning from a National Golf Awards dinner ceremony at the Mesha Palace on Sunday afternoon. He had met with President Nana Addo Akufo-Addo and also the chief there in Asante Memu. Now, the cause of the accident is not yet known, but GNTV just confirmed that the driver of the tipper truck was arrested by the Oceani's security. We'll give you more details on what exactly is the new development on this issue in a subsequent news bulletins. And now, away from that, onto other issues where Lejugu MP Dr. Boy has ascribed the minority in parliament position of the Ghana card registration to a fear of essentially seeing a clean national register. The MP described the minority's posturing as unfortunate and as a selfish position. The minority is against the National Identification Authority (NIA) only accepting passports and birth certificate to establish citizenship for the Ghana card registration. It wants the voter's ID card to also be accepted as proof of citizenship and has boycotted proof of the process. But the government is determined to make sure that there are no gaps that allow non-Ghanaians onto the NIA database as an attempt to formalize the economy. And so more updates coming on as to what exactly the minority and the NDC make of the National Identification Authority and registering people, Ghanaians, without the use of a national ID card, the voter's ID card, and to be precise. We'll give more details as well on these particular issues and what exactly and the length the minority in Parliament are taking their stand to. We are back after the break with more stories. Do stay with us.
There's more to life than where one begins, and which is George Weah.
I'm not setting up.
His presidency would mark the first time.
Be a good boy, be a good girl. How did you muster the courage to call Mrs. Indu to tell her we lost or have lost £2 billion?
And still attracts me to Pastor Toby.
You know, all the stories about me and being in business, this was the worst.
Hello and welcome to Pay Global app. Pay Global allows you to send and receive money into your mobile wallet instantly from around the world. It makes money transfer easy, affordable, smooth, and convenient for agents and users. Roaming services are also available globally. So, how to get started? First, you have to download the Pay Global app. Step 1. Open Google Play or Play Store using your Android device. Step 2. Search by typing Pay Global in the Google Play search engine. Step 3. Locate and click on Pay Global and install. Step 4. After installing, tap Open and allow access to complete the process. Now, let's see how to create a new Pay Global account. After opening the Pay Global app, click on New User Account. Complete the registration form with the following information to register your account: phone number, full name, email, date of birth, enter preferred password, and confirm your password. Click on Register Now to register your account. A confirmation code will be sent to you and displayed in the text box. Click Next to complete registration. Visit the nearest GN Momo agent to load your wallet. Contact us for support on email support@payappglobal.com. Pay Global. Total convenience.
Welcome back and still live here on Gntv, coming to you from our studios on number 10 and Street here in Islamdan Accra in Ghana. Now let's take you back to Friday, where our Muslim brothers and sisters celebrated the Eid al-Fitr festivity, where Amir and missionary in charge of the Ahmadiyya Muslim mission in Ghana, Al-Haji Al-Aj Movi Muhammad bin Salim, established that if the Anas Amir Anas revelations is anything factual, then the immoral and unethical level of some leaders indicates that morality and ethical leadership in Ghana has unfortunately taken a nosedive and fallen to its lowest ebb. He made the statement during an address delivered on the occasion of Eid al-Fitr celebration held at Bustan Ahmed Ahmadiyya Muslim Conference Center here in Accra.
In the last 2 weeks, revelations depicting immoral and unethical leadership have drowned all other discussions in the media front. This negative development dealt a blow to the conscience of the good people of Ghana. It has awakened Ghanaians to the realization of the epidemic of immoral and unethical leadership in the country. In an address delivered by the Amir and missionary in charge of the Ahmadiyya Muslim mission in Ghana, Al-Hajj Maulvi Mohammed bin Saleh, he expressed his disappointment in how public office holders have turned their offices into money-looting camps.
If the Annas Armiyau revelations is anything factual, then the immoral and unethical level of some of our leaders stares straight at our faces as an indication. Unfortunate indication, however, that immorality and unethical leadership in our country has unfortunately immorality and ethical leadership in our country has unfortunately taken a nosedive and fallen to its lowest ebb.
According to him, Ghanaians should repent and seek forgiveness from Allah for such unforgivable acts.
If these analyses are anywhere near the truth, distinguished brethren, then it behoves all of us as Ghanaians to collectively bow down our heads in shame. That we bow down our heads in shame and repent and seek forgiveness from the Almighty Allah.
Vice President Dr. Muhammad Baumia has also extended his felicitations to all Muslims on the occasion of the celebration of Eid al-Fitr, urging them to pray for the prosperity of the nation. He congratulated all those in the Muslim faith for the successful completion of this year's fast.
The Bank of Ghana says it will strictly enforce the yet-to-be-passed payment system to sensitize the financial sector. The central bank has bemoaned what it says is the proliferation of fintechs in Ghana's financial sector system. Also complying with governance arrangements means that the fintech is required to have a board of directors with a minimum of 5 members.
Following the impact of cyber fraud, with the rise in the use of digital platforms, a new payment systems law is expected to be passed by Parliament to sanitize the space soon. The head of payment systems at the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Seto Amediku, said the new law will prevent unlicensed fintechs from operating. According to the central bank, a fintech may be deemed qualified to sustain its operations if it complies with the 3 board directives, including tech, security and controls, governance arrangements, as well as principles of consumer protection. For tech, security and controls, a fintech is expected to possess a tested technology system which is equipped with fraud monitoring and detection tools, a valid third-party certification from a reputable certification authority in line with relevant standards determined by the Bank of Ghana. The company must disclose to the Bank of Ghana details of its external auditors and any relation to the directors, key management personnel and shareholders. Meanwhile, fintechs are expected to be transparent and disclose to their customers clear, sufficient and timely information on the fundamental benefits, risks and terms of any product or service offered in an objective and accessible form. Already, 21 banks are in partnerships with the fintechs for the provision of services.
And now away from that on to other issues this morning, where the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has hit back at former President John Dramani Mahama concerning his tweet on the cedi's depreciation. In a lengthy Facebook post Sunday, Dr. Bawumia described Mahama's criticism as a lack of understanding of the key aspect of the economy. And so he wrote on Facebook, "I understand the difficulty of the former president in appreciating the currency depreciation debate. I would try to simplify the explanation for him," he wrote on Facebook on Sunday. Now, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia explained that although the cedi is depreciating against the dollar, it is doing so at a slow rate compared to previous governments. As we now take a look onto the international front. And on the international front this morning, where Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed Ali has been honored with the Most Excellent Order of the Pearl of Africa medal, Uganda's highest accolade given to a head of state at a special National Heroes Day by President Yoweri Gatuta Museveni. Now, the award is in recognition of Abiy's immense contribution to independent struggle of Africa. 250 other heroes were also awarded medals in appreciation for their contribution to the peace and dignity in the country. The only other African leader to be confirmed this honor is Equatorial Guinea President Teodoro Abin Obasanjo. Now, addressing crowds gathered for the occasion, Dr. Abiy Ahmed Ali noted that the relationship is built on a strong foundation of understanding and mutual respect, not to interfere with each other's internal affairs. Now, Zambia has decided to delay all planned borrowing indefinitely, its finance minister said on Thursday, slowing down the accumulation of new debt amid worries about the risk of distress. Let's take a look at this.
The International Monetary Fund rejected Zambia's borrowing plans in February, saying they risk making its debt load harder to sustain. The new debt management plan could now clear the way for Zambia to agree a $1.6 billion loan agreement with the IMF. The Southern African country's debt pile stood at $9.3 billion, or roughly a third of gross domestic product, at the end of March, up from $8.7 billion at the end of 2017. Wanakawe said, because of continued spending pressures relative to expected revenue, the fiscal deficit for 2018 is likely to be higher than the 6.1% projected in the budget, she said.
And so still giving an update on the international front this morning, and away from Zambia onto other quarters where high-level corruption across all levels of government in Kenya threatens the integrity and basic functioning of the state. The Auditor General told Reuters Kenyan media have reported on dozens of the graft scandals involving public officers conspiring to steal from state coffers since President Uhuru Kenyatta took office in 2013. Now, Somalia and Ethiopia announced they were jointly investing in 4 seaports to attract foreign investors to their two countries. The latest move in the tussle for access to port along one of the world's most strategic waterways. Now, after Somalia's President Mohamed Abdullahi hosted Ethiopia's Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed for a meeting at the presidential palace in Mogadishu, the two leaders issued a joint statement of pledges to cooperate on everything from the development of infrastructure, including roads linking the two countries, to expanding visa services to promote cultural exchanges. And so that's all for the news this morning here on Gntv. We've been live from our studio side number 10 in Boss Street here in Accra, Ghana, in West Africa. I am Bryce Nana Kwesi Amaning. We're live in Ghana and live in the UK. For more news update, you can visit our pages on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Instagram, all on GNTVGH, and stream live on YouTube at GNTVGH. Have a good morning.